We've all been there. You wake up on Monday morning filled with motivation, ready to conquer your goals. You promise yourself you'll start that new workout routine, finally tackle that big project, or stick to a healthy diet. But then, as the day unfolds, something shifts. That initial burst of willpower starts to fade. The couch looks more inviting, social media beckons, and suddenly, yesterday's strong intentions feel like a distant memory. It's a constant battle between our present desires for comfort and immediate gratification, and our future aspirations for long-term success and well-being. Why is it so hard to stick to our own plans? The answer often lies in a fascinating psychological concept known as commitment devices. These are strategies or choices we make in the present to restrict our future options or increase the cost of deviating from a desired course of action. Think of them as a clever trick to outsmart your future, less disciplined self. They help bridge the gap between your good intentions and your actual behavior, especially when willpower alone isn't enough. The core mechanism of commitment devices is simple. They leverage external structures, social accountability, or preset conditions. This helps us overcome present bias, our tendency to prioritize immediate rewards over future ones, and align our actions with our long-term goals. For instance, a famous study by economist Dean Carlin involved offering small loans to micro-entrepreneurs in the Philippines. Some were offered a commitment savings account, which restricted withdrawals until a pre-specified goal was met. The results? Those who opted for the commitment device saved significantly more money, demonstrating the power of pre-commitment in achieving financial goals. It's about making future failure harder, or at least more costly. Let's look at some modern scenarios. Imagine Sarah, a marketing professional who wants to cut down her social media usage to boost productivity. She constantly finds herself scrolling aimlessly, despite her best intentions. Sarah decides to use a commitment device. She installs an app that blocks access to her most distracting social media platforms during work hours. The app also has a feature that charges her a small fee for every minute she tries to bypass the block. This financial penalty, however small, creates a tangible cost for deviating. Sarah is now far more likely to stay focused, not just because she wants to be productive, but because avoiding the fee reinforces her commitment. Next, consider Ben, who's been struggling to save for a down payment on his first apartment. Every month, despite his budget, extra expenses seem to pop up, and his savings goal remains elusive. Ben sets up an automatic transfer of a fixed amount from his checking to a separate, high-yield savings account the day after his paycheck arrives. Crucially, this account is linked to a different bank, making instant transfers back to checking inconvenient. This friction acts as a commitment device. When he's tempted to dip into savings, the effort required to transfer the money back provides a crucial moment for reflection, often deterring him from impulsive spending. He's effectively hidden the cookies from his future self. Finally, let's look at Emily, who wants to start a podcast but keeps procrastinating on recording her first episode. She has great ideas but struggles with the initial push. Emily uses a social commitment device. She announces on her social media that she will launch her podcast next month, and even asks her friends to hold her accountable. She also pre-schedules a launch party for the day her first episode goes live. The public announcement and the pre-booked event create social pressure. Failing to launch would mean letting down her friends and canceling a party, making the cost of procrastination much higher. This external pressure fuels her motivation. So, how can you start using commitment devices in your own life? First, identify a specific goal where you consistently struggle with follow-through. What's that one thing you always intend to do but rarely manage? Second, design your commitment device. This could be a financial penalty, like donating to a charity you dislike if you miss a goal, or a social one, like telling a trusted friend your deadline and asking them to check in. You could also create an effort barrier by making the undesirable option harder to access, like putting your phone in another room while working, or pre-portioning healthy snacks to avoid overeating. Third, make it irreversible, or at least difficult to undo. The power of a commitment device lies in its ability to truly lock in your future behavior. Once you set it, try not to tamper with it. Remember, willpower is a finite resource. Commitment devices are not a sign of weakness, but a smart strategy to augment your self-control and align your daily actions with your deepest aspirations. So, stop battling your future self. Instead, empower them. Use commitment devices to build the life you truly want, one smart decision at a time. Your future self will thank you.